Welcome back to Crypto Strategies with Chris. My name is Chris. So in my videos, I have been saying that it seems like the altcoins are in some kind of a bear market, but Bitcoin is holding pretty strong. It's staying way above the all-time high of the last bull run, which was about 69,000. So for now, we seem just to be in a time of uncertainty. But there are some things we can do, some strategies, so that we can keep up with the market, so that we are ready to make those gains. Let's get to it. So right now we are just facing a lot of random different things that we have not faced before in a bull run, like the US tariffs and then these interest rates that are going up, and then we're hoping that the FOMC meetings eventually cut interest. So we're just waiting, and we're just not really truly experiencing the bull run like we have in the past. So we need a approach that kind of fits this environment and not so aggressive approach as well. So here are just some tips I want to share with you. Narrative driven investing. Since meme coins and specific narratives often drive market trends, focus on sectors gaining momentum. And you can see here are some examples: Bitcoin layer 2s, AI, crypto like Tau, Render, ASI, layer 1s, Ethereum, Solana, Kaspa, and even AVAX. And then we got the meme coins and community tokens: Pepe, Giga, SPX, 6900, and even Gold. And then we have the RWAs, Ondo, Mantra, and Filecoin. So these are pretty good narratives I would be looking at. And one of the ways you can find them is going to CoinGecko.com. So this is CoinGecko, and we can see this is the Bitcoin ecosystem. You have Ordi, Dog, Bitcoin, which is a meme coin. You got Stats, Magic Internet Money. So you can kind of see what are the top projects in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Now all you really got to do is kind of find one you're interested in and just click on it. Go check out their website, their X account, and do some research. That way you can know what you're investing in. Also, we have the AI categories. You can see Near Protocol, Internet Computer. Now these are in a lot of different categories. And then you got BitTensor, which is pretty much AI, and then I believe some other categories as well, like layer 1s and smart contracts. You got Render, and then this is the ASI that I was talking about, which is labeled as FET. And so you can do the same thing. You can kind of click on these and see which one is doing pretty well, which project is building, and which one seems massively undervalued right now. Then we have the layer 1 ecosystems. You can check out Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, and again, just do some research, see which projects you really want to try to invest in. And then you got the categories for the meme coins: Dogecoin, Shiba, Pepe. These are pretty much the top 3, but you can see official Trump is number 4 out of the meme coins. It is at a pretty good price, but you know, it's still a meme coin, very risky. The SPX 6900. I have not talked about this coin. I know about it and of it, and I don't know, I believe a lot of people made a lot of gains on it already, but they do have a solid community. So I don't know, you gotta do your research, and then you just gotta jump in if you want. But you can probably get anywhere between a 2 to 8x, possibly, maybe even more, because they did get on some listings. Then you can see like Fartcoin, Dog with Hash, so different blockchains that they are on. So that's something to check out, and you gotta do your research on. And then we had the RWA categories. We got Chainlink, Mantra, Ondo, Algorand. This is a stablecoin maker. So again, do your own research and check these projects out to see which one you truly want to invest in, so that you are ready for the next narrative wave, especially if it comes down to one of these categories. Even gaming is one of them. We had a big gaming wave, I think back in 23, and so it's died down a whole lot, but most times narratives do come back around in a cycle, so you might want to check those out as well. The next thing you want to check out is the websites where it shows ETAs, inflows and outflows. Bitcoin ETFs check inflows and outflows from major ETFs like BlackRock and Grayscale. And you can go to the coinglass.com. You can check out Bitcoin ETFs, and that'll give you more specifics on which company is having the most inflows and outflows. Here's an example Bitcoin ETF overview. You can see IBIT, FBTC, GBTC, Grayscale, iShares, Fidelity. So you can check these out, and then you can just kind of look through them. You can also check out through the coin market cap. You can see Bitcoin ETF tracker, and then this kind of shows you how it's doing daily. You got the 30-day, the 1 year, and the all. And you can see, let's see, when was this? This was in February. A lot of outflows can happen during this day. So you can just kind of go through. If you can see that daily we are growing, if we were to see more upward moments, like just growing and growing, then that would be a good signal to you that, hey, Bitcoin is becoming more interesting. People are adopting it, especially through the institutions, the ETFs. So that's a good sign. If you see a lot of outflows, that's a bad sign. Then we have tip number 3, DCA. Use a DCA strategy to accumulate Bitcoin or solid projects with real use cases. If the market dips due to macro concerns, be ready to buy the fear while others panic. And I just kind of wanted to give you some extra tips when it comes to dollar cost averaging. You want to automate your buys. If possible, weekly or bi-weekly, use some kind of exchange where you have a program, $50 into a project every 2 weeks, every month, whatever it is that you would desire, just so that you're not emotionally investing, you're just keeping to the plan. And most of the time, DCA into a project works better than somebody trying to time the market. Number 2, stick to the plan. Don't get emotional during pumps and dumps. Reevaluate your allocations quarterly as narratives change. This is kind of like what I was saying. You want to make sure you get into the narratives before they do take off, so that you're not trying to chase the pump, and that you're in early and you get out early as well. Remember, we have to sell. You don't want to hold on to your bags, and you kind of just got to cycle out. You get into a narrative, let it pump, and then you get out, and then you get into another one, and you're compounding your money, gaining you more money as long as you are selling and trying not to get a loss. Then number 4, have an exit strategy. Especially for speculative coins, take profits along the way. Now for some pretty decent gains, you want to focus on the low to mid cap altcoins. Look for projects that haven't pumped yet but are part of a strong narrative. Use on-chain analytics to track whales accumulating promising low caps. Examples are like games, DePIN, storage, L2s. The reason I picked these, I'm not saying these are the winning stuff, but the reason I picked them is because they had their pump like last year, and they kind of been silent for a really long time. So I think their time is coming pretty soon, where they're gonna get hype again. So I'm not financial advice. It's just something I thought of. I haven't heard in a while, because lately it's always been about AI and RWAs, and I think now they're kind of gonna take a step back, and some other narrative is gonna come in its place. So we gotta be ready. And always just have some extra money into the stable coins. Have dry powder ready in case of unexpected crashes. And again, this goes for the strong project. And number 6, follow the halving effects. Even if Bitcoin's cycle isn't playing out exactly as it has in the past, the supply shock from halving will eventually drive Bitcoin's price up. Be patient and accumulate projects that has historically performed well post-halving. And I kind of want to show you something else as well. All right, so you can see in Ethereum's chart, you can see right here in the bull market of 21, you can see in about April to May that Ethereum hit an all-time high with Bitcoin as well. Then the summer came and they dumped. Then around October to November, you can see, we know Bitcoin hit another all-time high of 69,000, and Ethereum went with Bitcoin. It made another all-time high. Now these are something, and just my opinion, it's not really a fact and it's not really proven to work, but it makes me feel a little bit better when I'm investing into a coin that followed Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin, out of all the coins, it's going to make a new all-time high. So I also do feel better investing in a coin that follows Bitcoin. And you can see, again, this is Ethereum. Let me take you to a random coin like IOTA. Now with IOTA, it did make a pretty decent high. It's not the all-time high because that was in 2017, but you can see it did run with Bitcoin in April to May, and that's as high as it got. But as you can see, whenever October and November came, it was just being drained. I guess no one was interested, so the money was flowing into Bitcoin and some other bigger, better projects. And so this is some things I like to check out and make sure, hey, did the project I'm into, does it run with Bitcoin or against Bitcoin, so you want to make sure of these things. And then also you just want to be aware of world events and news. Monitor geopolitical economic policies. If tariffs escalate and inflation spikes again, Bitcoin could get a renewed digital gold narrative boost. Now here's a website, you can see right here, federalreserve.gov, and then it shows you the upcoming meetings of this year so that you can kind of expect where the most volatility is going to be during these days. And the next FOMC meeting is going to be May 6th. Then we got one in June, July, September, October, and December. So you can screenshot, do whatever you need to right now. But these are the dates you need to know so that we can kind of see, all right, Bitcoin is at like, let's say 95,000 right now, but we're gonna have a FOMC meeting in 1 week. What's happening? Is Bitcoin going high because people are speculating interest cuts, or is Bitcoin going down because there's not gonna be a change in interest cuts? So you just gotta be ready so that you just feel more better knowing what is happening versus being blindsided and like, why is Bitcoin falling? Why is Bitcoin jumping? And then it dumps the next day because it was a bad FOMC meeting. It's just good so that you're more aware. Well, that's it for this video today. I hope this helps just so you can be more prepared on what to be doing during this time of uncertainty. We definitely don't want to be sitting down just like a couple of ducks doing nothing. We definitely want to make sure we're looking at things, researching, so that we can kind of predict or speculate what's coming up next. Now, right now, there is really no narratives going on, but eventually there is. I believe, in my opinion, these tariffs, like, we hit the low on April 2nd, but we are going to balance out. People are going to feel less scared, more confident, and then they're going to start investing again, especially if these tariffs work, where Americans and the United States, which is probably the strongest, I think is the strongest money economy, like there's a lot more money is going to go into traditional stocks and crypto, and it will explode in my opinion. So we just got to get past this accumulation phase. That's basically where we are at, since the altcoins especially are where they were pretty much in the bear market, a little more or less for some of them, but this is a great time to be dollar cost averaging in my opinion. But I hope you enjoyed this video today. I pray that you and your family are doing well, and together we strategize ourselves into financial freedom. Press that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, friends.